All that shortly, but first, news just coming in. Pakistan could be placed on the FATF's blacklist. The global terror financing watchdog has said that Islamabad has failed to crack down on terror. The watchdog has come down heavily on Islamabad, saying that Pakistan has failed to act on its own action plan. Remember, the FATF had given out a list of the action points that were agreed upon, and in the latest coming in, the FATF has said that it once again is not satisfied with the action that's been taken by Pakistan on all of those counts. The latest move now could threaten the IMF bailout to the cash-strapped Pakistan as well. Remember, the IMF, while giving that bailout and while talking about the same, had placed tough conditions on Pakistan, saying that it must clamp down on terror emanating from its soil for that bailout to be provided. The FATF said that the International Monetary Fund is an observer organization and is well aware of the developments. However, it added that any decision on the bailout will be taken only by the IMF. Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibul, has been tracking the very latest, is now joining us on the broadcast for more on that. Siddhant, what more have we been able to gather from the FATF as far as the action plan is concerned, and how it stands unsatisfied and is not satisfied once again with what Pakistan has done on all of those fronts?
Well, a pretty strong statement by the FATF president. Well, this was after the meeting which happened last week. The final audio clip has been provided to the media by the FATF today. And in the entire briefing, it's a 17-minute long briefing, almost every second question is on Pakistan, and clearly one question was asked that whether Pakistan will be blacklisted or not. He clearly said that there is a possibility of Pakistan being blacklisted in the October meeting. Remember, Pakistan had given an action plan after it was grey listed last year, and it missed two deadlines, first in January and second in May, and this time around it continues to remain in the grey list. But if it continues with the current trajectory in the October meeting, then Pakistan could be blacklisted. But other than that, he also talked about IMF. Remember, IMF has given a bailout to Pakistan, which is still to be approved by the board. But remember, IMF is also the observer organization at FATF and knows all the inner details, the nitty-gritties at the FATF, especially when it comes to Pakistan, which has given its commitment. So a question was asked that if FATF would like to give advice, and FATF said that they can give advice if IMF requests on if the IMF should go ahead with the bailout, but it has to be an independent decision taken by the IMF. So clearly, FATF has a major role when it comes to the bailout plan. By and large, it was kind of a warning that the FATF gave last week as well, that Pakistan needs to understand when it comes to the issue of financing of terrorism. This is a major issue, and Pakistan is still not getting its action on the ground correct.
Absolutely. And Siddhant, just to put this in context for our viewers as well, Pakistan has time and again also spoken out loud about the possibility of it being put on the blacklist and being downgraded by the FATF, which will have far-reaching implications for its economy. Even the IMF bailout hinges on the FATF being satisfied on all of those measures.
Well, it has a huge impact on the Pakistani economy. It's already facing the pressure, we know. But being on the grey list, it loses almost $10 billion annually. And this is a figure provided by the Pakistani foreign minister himself. So clearly, a huge impact on being on the grey list. And of course, the foreign investors won't be very keen to invest in a country, a jurisdiction, that is the word used by the FATF, where there is a major risk of financing of terrorism, and that is something that is going to inhibit foreign investors to come to Islamabad. But if it's put on the blacklist, that will be a doomsday for Pakistan. And of course, the Pakistani Prime Minister, who has been trying to shore up money for his country, we know he has been going around the world, whether it's to West Asia, whether it's to China, and of course IMF to hope and garner support for his country's economy. The IMF has agreed, but of course the other countries such as whether it's China or some of the West Asian countries won't be very keen on. Even if they agree to bail out Pakistan, they will be putting a lot of conditions, terms, which of course means political interference in Pakistan, which has been a norm there.